All right, we're going to start learning about arrays. We're going to make this video lesson to just go over the concept notes for array basics. Okay, so an array is generally just thought of, it's a collection, right? You can store multiple things inside of it. They can be all the same type. They can be different types. And it's just declaring a variable, and that variable is a reference to that collection. To play around with these code examples, I thought we could use the JavaScript tutor, Visualize JavaScript. So I could do, hey, let my array be assigned, and instead of making it a number, or instead of making it a string, we're going to make it an array with square brackets. So this would be an empty array. Console.log my array. Let's visualize this, and this should be really boring. My array is pointing to an empty array, and when I print it prints out an empty array. All right, let's edit that code. I can put stuff inside of it. So it's a collection, so we can put multiple elements. I can say hi, comma, there, to. I could even put another array in here, A, comma, B, like so. Okay, and now if I visualize this, boom, my array, right, the variable my array is now pointing to some memory. The first block of memory stores hi. The next block of memory stores there, the next one too, the next one stores another array that has blocks of memory inside of it. Okay, so technically this array has 1, 2, 3, 4 elements. 1, 2, 3, 4 elements, and the fourth element is another array that has 2 elements inside of it. Okay, so just think of these arrays as storage containers. Okay, now if they're storing things, how do we look up the values that they store? Well, we do that with its position, or commonly referred to its index. Okay. Now you should notice that here, these little numbers here, that's the position or the index. Now, computer scientists for some reason like to start counting at 0 instead of 1. So instead of position 1, 2, 3, 4, you start at 0, and an array with a length of 4 has position 0, 1, 2, 3. All right. So if I wanted to just print out the first element, I would go console.log my array, square brackets. This is the index operator, and I give it a position inside of there, and it'll say, hey, find my array and look up what's inside it, what's available or stored in memory at position 0. So now when I do this, there's my array, and position 0 is hi. Okay, and of course position 1 would be there. Position 2 would be 2, position 3 would be that array. Let's try the position 3. Okay, so that creates my array, and then I print out position 3 is another array, which I could actually do something like this, position 1. So my array 3, 0, 1, 2, 3 would be this, position 1 would be 0, 1, it should print out B. Right, so you can do a double index operator where it looks up the array and it looks up into the array within the array and prints out B. Okay, cool. So we can create an array and we can access the elements inside of the array using the name of the array, square brackets, and then the index. Right? So position 0 is A, position 1 is B, position 2 is C, position 3 is D. Okay. Now, a common thing to do with arrays is to traverse an array, to loop over all the elements in the array. I'm going to just copy and paste this code here into the Visualize JavaScript tutor here. Tabbing doesn't matter. Okay, so this creates an array called Fibonacci, the Fibonacci sequence. First 7 terms, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 0 to 6 are the positions. And then it just does a whole bunch of lines of code, print out position 0, which is 1. Print out position 1, which is 2. Print out position 3, which is... where am I at? Position 2. Anyway, lost good. It just keeps going through and prints out all of the values. Right? 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21. Wonderful. Now, pretty repetitive. We're doing the same line of code over and over again. So often what we can do is let's use a loop. I'm going to do I for index. That starts at 0, right? Because that's where I want to start. And I want to go up to 7. So I is less than 7, so including 6. And I want to increase by 1. Okay, and inside of this, I just want to go console.log Fibonacci at position I. Okay, and then I can get rid of all of this. So basically it does the same thing. It'll log to the console 7 times, right? 0 to 6, 7 times. So I is 0, and then 1, and then 2, and then 3. And this should create the array. It has this little I variable, which is going to become 0, and then it becomes 1, and then it becomes 2, and then it becomes 3. Okay, and then it's doing the same thing, and every time it runs this, I is just the new value until it ends at 6, and now it's 7, and this should fail because 7 is not less than 7, and it will then stop the program. Okay, so that's what it shows here, right? This idea that instead of doing all this repetitive code, I can do a loop to loop through the entire array. Now, last concept in the notes here is the length of the array. Just take the variable that's referencing the array and just go dot length. Okay, and that'll give us the length of the array. So we can get rid of this for now. Actually, let's just let's comment that out. And I'm just going to go console.log Fibonacci.length. Okay, so boom, defines the array. It should have a length of 7, and it prints out 7. Awesome. Okay. Now, the reason that comes in handy is sometimes when I want to traverse an array, notice how I went up to 7, but what if there were more elements or less elements? What if I was adding or removing elements from this and it changed? This would cause a problem because it's not always 7. So a common thing to do is to be able to use in this loop, start at 0 and go up to the length of the array. Right? If there's 10 elements in the array, the length will be 10, and you want to go 0 to 9. All right, so if we copy and paste this, we should see, okay, so print elements is the variable that's storing this function, and I call the function twice with different arrays, right, with different lengths. So the first time through, an array gets this value, the 1, 2, 3, 4, and my I will go from 1 to 2, and then it will go to position 3. Wonderful. But now it'll update to 4. The length of the array is 4, so 4 is not less than 4, and it should end. Wonderful, and the function returns. Okay, and then this time, an array, right, my parameter is now equal to this array that's passed in, the larger array. And now when I loop through this, it's going to go all the way through, right, because this loop won't stop until it equals the length, which should be 10, and then it stops and returns and ends. Okay, so really useful, right, finding the length of the array, especially useful when you want to loop through an array that you don't know the length of, or the length might change, right, because you will learn how to add and remove elements from an array. All right, that's the basics. Like I said, an array is a storage container. We can store multiple things in it, and it's ordered. Position 0, position 1, position 2, position 3. There's a sequence to it, right? So an ordered collection of values. And they are very useful. We'll learn lots more about them and build some awesome programs with them. Okay, hope that made sense. Take care, and we'll see you in the next video.